And boxing is in such a weird place right now. We had the big Crawford Spence fight fall through, but now it looks like we might have Tank and King Rai on the card. And Seniesa, I got to say, you were out for a year. The Golden Boy relationship ended, and I know that had to be tough because Oscar De La Hoya, you're both from East LA. The Golden Boy. What has the last year been like, and how does it feel to be with Top Rank and you just had your first fight on ESPN?
Yeah, the last year was so tough. Parting ways with Golden Boy was difficult. It was a difficult 11 months, the most difficult 11 months of my career, just being patient and having to stay out of the ring. But I'm just so happy to be back with Top Rank. It feels amazing. They've just been so good to me, so great. And I'll be having my first game on ESPN in March, so I'm excited about that. You've known me for a while, Jeff, and I have always said I wanted to go after the champions. I want to be undisputed in 3 different weight divisions, so that's what I've always wanted, is to just fight the champions and have big fights. So I'm definitely going to get that in 2023 with Top Rank. We're gonna go for undisputed at 105 and move up to 108 by the end of 2023 and do the same thing there.
And there's someone still on the Golden Boy roster that you would like to fight again?
Oh, yeah, the rematch with Esparza, if that's what you're referring to, definitely. I think that's a huge fight for women's boxing. It's a fight that I still want, and I hope she still would like to have a rematch too. So we'll definitely be aiming for that as well.
So, Seniesa, we'll wrap up here in a few minutes, but I know you were watching the big fights this past year, and you were just itching to get back in the ring, with Clarissa, fighting. Obviously, what she did over in the UK, and then you had the Amanda Serrano fight at Madison Square Garden. I mean, when you saw those fights, were you just envisioning that should be you, or that will be you here very shortly?
Yes, it was such an amazing year for women's boxing, the best year ever in women's boxing. So to be inactive and not be able to get in there and just be alongside with them, having those big fights was really frustrating. But at the same time, I was just so happy to be there, to experience it and to watch these girls just take women's boxing to another level. I was so happy for all of them. So now that I'm back, I'm happy to just be back in the mix with all the girls, all the top women who are just helping break down all these doors and barriers in women's boxing. I think every year it's just going to get bigger and better for us. And, it all just starts with, like as for me with my contract with Golden Boy, just standing my ground and wanting to make a change, and not only for myself, but for all other women, the next generation that's coming up, and the women who are in the sport right now, whether it's in the amateurs or in the professionals. Women's boxing is changing a lot, and it takes the women like myself and Clarissa and Amanda and Katie and all the top women to just bring it to another level and to continue to do that no matter what, because we've been in the game for a long time, and I'm sure it was frustrating for all of us. We all have a similar story, and we all just kept believing in ourselves and continue to just push, because we knew that women's boxing would one day get to where it's at right now.
That's great. And it was so great to see you back in the ring, about a month ago, co-main on ESPN, and you do what you always do. You entertain, which I think that's why people are attracted to your fights, is because you entertain. And so as a fan, it was great to see you back out.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, we're both excited. This is Jay-Z and the Viking. And before we let you both go, since there's one big fight, there's a couple big fights, but I want to get a prediction from both of you. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, hopefully in April, if all goes well in their tune-up fights. Seniesa, we'll start with you. Who do you like and why?
I like Ryan Garcia. I think his height, his speed, and his power is just it'll win him the fight. But at the same time, they're both power punchers, so anything can happen, which is the interesting thing about the fight, the most exciting thing about the fight, because one punch can change everything. But I have Ryan Garcia.
Because they call the fights, they have to play it neutral. But I would say right now, from an odds maker standpoint, You give it 51% to Gervonta, 49% Ryan Garcia. Ryan's getting better exponentially with my good friend, the legendary Joe Goosen, and Gervonta wants that marquee name on his resume. They both are young. They're both in their primes. They both have a lot to prove. That's going to be a crossover fight. And when it happens in Las Vegas, the world will stop guaranteed for Gervonta and Ryan Garcia.
All right. Well, you heard it here on Jay-Z and the Vikings, Seniesa Estrada, Ray Flores, two of the biggest names in combat sports. Seniesa is a world champion multiple times over, looking to get another title shot back in the ring with Top Rank and ESPN. And Ray Flores, what can you say? The guy has traveled the world over, calling all the big fights. I don't know how he does it, and not just combat sports. He's done college basketball, college wrestling, you name it, he's probably doing it. So we can't thank you both enough, and good luck.